Hello and welcome to the Stitch with Love podcast. My name is Shannon. I am a knitter and a crocheter based in Scotland. If you are new here, welcome. If not, thank you for coming back. If you want to find me on other social media, I will leave the links somewhere on the screen. I can't remember what side it goes to, and in the description as well. So I had a bit of a moment, I forgot what I was saying, but yes, I will leave my TikTok, Ravelry and Instagram links in the description. Today's podcast, we don't have any finished objects. I have 4 whips. One I will briefly talk about because it's blocking, so I don't have it to show, if that makes sense. So like, it's in the other room and it's soaking wet and I'm worried if I hold it up it's just not. But we'll talk about that when we get to it. So this week is a lot of test knitting. So I spoke about this, I'm pretty sure I spoke about this last week. I signed up, or filled out the forms for a few test knits because at the moment I'm hunting for a job and I'm coming towards the end of the uni semester, so I'm going to have a few weeks where unless I get a job between now and then, which would be great, but most likely I am not going to have a job and I'm not going to have uni work to do, which it's really nice, but at the same time I wanted something to do and felt like wanted to feel like I was still being productive. So I signed up to some test knits thinking I would maybe get 1 or 2 because that often happens. Decided to get a lot of applications, they can't take everyone, so I was like, I'll probably get maybe 2 of them, be fine. I got 4, so I have a lot of knitting to do. 1 I have yet to cast on because I am going to need to order yarn and needles because I don't have the right size needle because I can't hit gauge, so I don't have that one yet. But I can talk about the others. So, first one I'll speak about, if I can, I will put a photo up because this is the one that's currently soaking wet. But I am test knitting for Kaya Do You Knit over on TikTok, and I'm test knitting her Noosa top. I have done the bulk of it, so I've done the body and the sleeve, so one shoulder top. So I've done the body and the sleeves. And then I need to do around the neckband. But the pattern recommends to block first and then do it. So that's why it's blocking, but it's not a finished object because I need to put the neckband on, but I need it to dry before I can do that. So yes, if I can, I will put a picture up. For that one, I'm using Mama Willing yarns. She's a New Zealand based dyer. I'm using her plush fingering and misty mohair held together in the colourway Galaxy. And when I was first knitting the swatch, I was a bit unsure about it because, as often happens when you're holding it with mohair, the mohair kind of makes it not quite so bright, and I wasn't sure if I liked that. But the more I've worked with it, I'm really happy with it, and I'm very looking forward to having the finished piece. Kaya has some really lovely patterns. I will leave her I was going to say Instagram. No, her TikTok and her Etsy shop. That's what I was trying to say, Etsy. Her Etsy shop, so you can shop her patterns in the description. So yes, hopefully, fingers crossed, that top should be done by next week and I can show you a finished object. We'll move on to the second one. This one I had started last week. This is a test knit for Lily Kate Makes. I have swatches, and this is the needle I originally swatched with, did not get gauge. I don't know why it's still in that project bag. I need to sort that, but anyway. This is what it looks like right now. This is the checkered plate tee. I can hold it up. And I am currently on the yoke, so doing the increases. That's why it's kind of looking a bit funky. This is the longest cable I have, so you know, it'll be fine, especially once I split the sleeves. It just looks a bit silly at the moment. I'm really enjoying this. It's this lovely lace pattern. It's gonna keep trying to focus on my face. Yeah, really loving the lace. It'd be lovely to have. I love this colour as well. This is Drops Flora. I was going to show you the yarn, but I've left the rest of the yarn in my front room and I have just finished this ball, so whoops. Anyway, so this is Drops Flora, which I think is a wool alpaca blend, in the colourway Pistachio. And yes, I'm very looking forward to having this piece. So I think last week, I can't remember how much was on this. I don't think I connected in the round yet, or if I had, it was very close to the beginning of that. Whereas, yeah, I am over halfway into the yoke now, which is great. So I'm working away on that. Some of the testers have already finished the body and I am amazed. I am not. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy with the amount of knitting I've done. I've done quite a bit. And again, as I mentioned, this is my only test knit. I know the Noosa top deadline is coming up, so I wanted to get the bulk of that done because I know I needed to block it. So I'm happy with what I've done. I also have the added thing at the moment of currently in the middle of the exam diet. I had one exam last week and I have another one on Tuesday this week and another one on Thursday. Then I'm done for the semester, which is great, but I can't spend as much time knitting because I'm spending a lot of time with spreadsheets and calculators at the moment, so yeah. But yes, test knit number 2. So pop this away, and I need to attach a new ball of yarn. You can see in the background as well, my cat's sleeping. She's so cute. I'm recording, she's just chilling. Test knit number 3 is not looking like much right now, but that's okay. They all start out looking not like the finished object. So this is the Rita top. This is a test knit for the Rita top by Knitting Sofi, and I will leave her, I think I'll leave her Instagram and her TikTok below. But this is what we have at the moment. I'm trying to hold it up, but I'm not being very successful at that. Basically where I'm at with this, I am deciding if I want to knit it all one colour and just get another skein of this, or if I want to do stripes. Now the issue with doing one colour, sorry, I just saw something pop up on like the job searching app. I'll deal with that in a minute. So this I got ages ago. I did a test knit for Irene Lynn. I did the Lyrity in this. And so there's the issue of dye lots. There's also the issue of, and it looks it on the camera as well, this looks blue, right? This looks like an ice blue. However, the colourway name is silver. And on Wool Warehouse, I got this at a yarn shop in person, but the Wool Warehouse, where I probably get it from, because I need to get the stuff from there anyway, and I don't think the shop carries this anymore, the one I got it from originally. The photo looks very grey, which makes sense because it's called silver, but it makes me very nervous because this is blue as far as I'm concerned. So I could attempt to knit it all in one colour, which then that means potentially run the risk of accidentally having two colours, or I do it intentionally intentionally and stripe it, which is what the original has, and I get 2 other colours, different colours, and then I don't have the dye lot issue, which I think I'm leaning towards. But the downside to that is obviously I'm at the point now where you'd have to change colours, so I have to wait until I order more yarn and get it to me. So at a bit of a standstill on this, but should be fine. This has the shortest window out of the lot, so I want to get wriggle on this one, but I need to sort out my yarn situation. So that is the Rita top. I'd like to say what the yarn was. I have a feeling it's Stylecraft. Bamboo cotton. I don't have the ball band on me at the moment. Yeah, and I know it's a bamboo cotton blend. Pretty sure it's by Stylecraft. Pretty sure it's their naturals. I don't know. So yes, that one. Last project for today is actually not a testament. This is my out and about, I'm on the bus knitting. So this is a sock. It does not look like much. I can't remember if I showed this last week. If I did, it probably doesn't look all that different, to be perfectly honest. But yes, I have the cuff. There we go. And I've started the leg. There's a bit of striping. This is the Perseus socks. I had a little bit of a boo-boo and cast on with the wrong colour, but I've just altered it so that I didn't have to rip back, because that is a lot of twisted ribbon. I did not want to rip that back. So yes, the Perseus socks by Laura McLean, and I am knitting them on 9-inch circular needles, which I was really thinking I was going to have to potentially retire these. Simply because, I can't remember if I mentioned this, I don't know if I have. I have fibromyalgia, and I have a lot of issue with pain in my fingers and in my wrists. And it's not even like I'm knitting more than normal, you know, not taking breaks. I've never had issues before. I do take breaks. It is just like, it won't even be necessarily I'm doing something. I'll be sitting there and it's like an electric shock going through my hand. It's awful. And I was finding that the 9-inch circulars were making, like, I wouldn't necessarily say making it worse, but I was more likely to have issues if I was using these. It seems to have settled down at the moment. I seem to be okay. I think because I'm not knitting twisted rib right now, just in the round stockinette. However, if it comes back again, then I might have to look at changing to magic loop, which is a shame because I find the 9-inch circulars really fun, but at the end of the day, you know, it's causing me too much pain. It's one of those things of it really not worth it. So yes, at the moment though, we are fine. This is not getting as much done on it as my sock projects used to do, simply because I'm not leaving the house as much, for the same reason as I was having issues with this. I am getting out a little bit more now, but generally I'm not going very far unless I'm with someone else. And sometimes I just, depending on how my body is that day, you know, I might need to go out, but I might not be able to knit. And like while I'm out and about, just due to pain and things. So not as much as getting done on these, which is a little bit frustrating, but we will get some work done on them. But yeah, that's the history, the story behind these right now. I actually cast these on when we went to London in November last year, because we were flying and I was like, surely tiny little, you know, they're not going to be like worried about those, and they weren't. EasyJet really didn't care. But because of that, I was, because we were flying, I was like, I'll use 9-inch circulars because, I don't know, I feel like they look less threatening than like full length circular needles, especially sock needles. So we are in June now, so that's, normally socks do not take me that long, but it is what it is. Anyway, that is it for today's podcast. I don't really have anything else to show or talk about. I think I've really covered everything. It's kind of same old, with the exception of exams at the moment. I am so looking forward to, so my exams are Tuesday and Thursday. And once I finish my exam on Thursday, like for example on Friday, I might have a job interview, but it's not been confirmed just yet. I'm waiting for them to get back to me. But other than that, I can just sit all day in it. And I'm very much looking forward to that. So that's what I'm thinking of now. Like, I would rather spend my time this afternoon knitting, but I'm actually taking a study break to film this. So after this, I will have to go back to the computer and get some more work done. Yeah, even though these exams are not worth as much as they have been in previous years, I mean, they're still worth 50% each, so decent chunk. And at least one of them, I need to confirm for the other one, but at least one of them has a minimum pass mark of 40%. And so even if you're doing really well up until this point, if you get, say, 38% in the exam, that's it, you fail the course. So that feels stressful. I've never scored that low on an exam, and I'm very happy about that. And that's due to, hard work. And I'm very happy that that I do have the ability to be able to do that. But still, it stresses me out. So I will feel better in a way. As much as I don't want to go study right now, I will feel better if I do. So yeah, but this time next week when I record, there will be no exams. I'm thinking about changing my uploading schedule as well, but I haven't completely figured that out just yet. So I won't say just yet because I haven't confirmed it. But yeah, I think that's all for this week. Oddie's still sleeping. So thank you for joining me if you made it this far. Again, if you want to follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Ravelry, I will leave those on the screen and in the description. I post on there more regularly. I post on TikTok at least once a day. Instagram at the moment is about once a day as well. I need to get better at managing my Ravelry pages, but I will get there. So yeah, if you want to see more day-to-day stuff, that would be where to follow me for that. But yes, let me know what you were working on while you watched today. I'd love to hear what's on your needles or your hook. And I will see you for the next video sometime next week.